Thanks for checking out the Aaron Advantage podcast. Today I am sitting down with Amy Payne, certified professional organizer with lasting order. Okay, so after double checking, we are sure that everything's recording, so I guess we'll get started on the podcast. So Amy, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm absolutely excited to have you. Before we get into everything's too deep, why don't you tell everybody kind of how you got started in your business, what you do, what you don't do, and just kind of give us the origin stories.
It's a lot of questions all at once. Okay, we'll see. We'll start in the beginning. So I was born in... No, I'm kidding. The backstory of why I became an organizer, how I became an organizer, my husband and I moved 11 times the first 12 years we were married.
My goodness.
During that time, we had 3 kids in 3.5 years.
Yeah, even as a realtor, I think that's excessive.
It was excessive. It was from like a not great apartment to a better apartment, and then we'd buy a house.
Gotcha.
And then we'd move to a new state or a new area, and then do the same thing again. So we've had a few major moves from Illinois to Texas to Indiana.
Wow.
So I do know what it's like to move across the country, how not fun that can be, and how not fun it can be to move. And I swore I would never move again. And now a big part of my business is focused on helping people move.
That's awesome.
Oh, the irony of life, right?
Never say never.
So moving can be extremely stressful.
Yes,
so
it can.
We try really hard to take the stress out of that. So during that course of time, my life was just utter chaos. I mean, you can imagine dealing with all of that at the same time. So,
I mean, I help people move all the time, and they're typically just doing it, once every 5-7 years, and that's stressful enough. So multiple times in a short period of time like that is just crazy.
Yes, it is a little crazy. So we're a little crazy, not gonna lie. So in the course of that, I had to learn how to get organized. I mean, how do you keep up with laundry for 3 small children, and how do you organize a move and declutter so that you're not packing that item for the 12th time and moving it, but you haven't used it. So I turned to the internet and I found a lady called the Fly Lady. I don't know if you've...
The Fly Lady?
Yes,
I'm not familiar with the Fly Lady.
You'll have to Google it and
I
check
will
it out.
Absolutely Google that.
So she helps people set up good routines, habits and routines around cleaning, not as much organizing, but just keeping your house clean and tidy and situated. So I learned from her how to really get organized. And then from there, people started telling me, oh, you're so organized. You're so organized. And I'm like, me? Really? Like, why can't you say I'm fun or pretty? Like, why organized? Is this a compliment?
It's not the adjective I would look for, right?
No, not at all. Especially not then. I was like, really? Is this a compliment? Are you complimenting me here, or what's this? So eventually I learned that being organized was really a positive trait, and that really was a compliment. And then when we lived in Dallas, Texas, I went to their home show, which, as you can imagine, is pretty big.
Right. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Exactly. There were about 15 different professional organizers that had booths at this home show. And I had never heard of organizing as a profession. So this was about 2005, probably. And I was like, no way, you can get paid to organize people? That's awesome. Like, I want to get
me up.
paid. Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, this is what I want to be like when I grow up, like when my kids get a little older and I'm ready to do something other than pack and move my family.
Right.
This is something I could see myself doing. So of course, then the story continues. We moved to Indiana, and I thought about launching my business right away. I'd been planning and plotting already for a couple of years, and it just didn't seem like the right timing to move to a brand new state and to a brand new community, not knowing a soul.
Right.
So I decided to sit tight on that for a minute and get to know the community and get to know the area, keep planning my business, etc. And there came a point in time in 2011 where the job I was working, and I won't tell you what it was. I was like, I would rather be unemployed than work here.
Ooh,
So I just said, that's it, I'm done. And it was almost summertime. So I said, well, my husband's name's Tommy. I said, well, Tommy, how about if I start this organizing thing that I've been talking about for 6 years?
Right.
And it was kind of like now or never. I'm tired of talking about it. I need to just
Make it happen.
Do something.
Yep.
So he said, sure, let's try it. You know, the kids are home for the summer. That'll save us money on childcare. Let's just see what we can do. And by fall, if you don't have any customers, then go get a job. You know, no big deal. Okay.
Obviously, you got some customers.
8.5 years later, I think we're good.
I think you did all right.
Actually, by the end of the summer, I had to secure childcare for the kids.
That's fantastic.
Because it just took off right away. Yeah. So obviously there was a clear need in Evansville for professional organizing service. My company fits that need. So
fantastic.
Match made in heaven.
There you go. Now, I know you said you do help with like moving services and things, but what other kind of organizing do you help people with?
Anything you can think of organizing, we probably do it. Nice. So anything in the home, from the attic to the basement, the yard barn in the back, garage, anything, you know, clothes, toys, pantry, kitchen, storage areas, closets, anything you can think of organizing in a house.
I've seen some of the amazing transformations that you guys have on the Facebook page, Lasting Order on Facebook, if you guys want to check that out, of rooms. I think the one I saw most recently was from junk room to library.
Yes, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
That was great. When you have a space that doesn't have a purpose, it collects junk. I mean, that's just natural, right? We have a drawer or a room or a closet that you really don't know what the point is. You're just going to throw stuff in it.
Yeah.
Shove stuff. I don't know where it goes, so I'm just going to shove it in this closet.
I've got a room in my house that I barely ever go into, and it's got all kinds of junk in there.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you a single thing that's in there.
Sounds like I need to come to your house, Aaron.
You may need to come to my house. My wife would probably kill me for saying that, but hey, you know.
So we went through the junk in the junk room, sorted everything out, found homes elsewhere or outside of the home itself, decluttered a bunch, donated trash. And then I said, you know, in this particular case, it was a person who had an extra room. They had a home office and a husband and wife living there and a third bedroom that didn't have a purpose. And I said, you know, if you had the money and you could add on to your house and build on whatever room you could ever possibly want, funds are unlimited, what would you want? And she said, I would want a library. And I was like, guess what? We can make you a library right here.
And we don't even have to build an extra room.
Exactly. So she went so far as even to paint the walls and buy shelving and everything. And then we gathered up. There were quite a few books in boxes in that room. Mm-hmm. And then we gathered them from all around the rest of the house, put them all in there, organized them, and then put a little chair in that she could sit and read.
I got to say, the transformation just from the two photos, it looks like a different room entirely.
It does. I mean, the paint and bookshelves help, but but definitely clearing out the clutter was a big part of it.
Yeah, but even the fact that it was the same angle, and I'm looking at the same room, I'm like, my goodness, I can't even imagine that they were able to do something that awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Organizing is very satisfying to me personally and to my employees. It's just so fun to see something go from chaos to contained and organized, and it just makes sense.
Right. Now, do you guys offer any cleaning services, or is this just specifically organizing?
We do not clean at all. I mean, when I say at all, I mean at all. Like if we're organizing, say, a bookshelf and it's really dusty, I might say to the client, like, hey, do you want to wipe this off while everything's off of it? If they say no, we're like, okay. If they say yes, we're like, okay, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Occasionally, you know, we're sweeping or vacuuming, but it's more like the client was dusting as we went and they stepped out of the room for a minute and it needs to get wiped down real fast before we put something back. So generally the answer is no.
I don't blame you there. Specialized. That's
we are very specialized on organizing. So for sure.
So I know you probably, you know, as a professional organizer, certified professional organizer, you probably have, you know, standards and confidentiality and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
Are there any tales that you can share that we can change some details that maybe we don't disclose any of the fun stuff that you've had to do?
So we do deal with a lot of different kinds of situations, a lot of different kinds of people. I do tell stories about certain, you know, sometimes things that I find, but at the same time, it's a fine line because we respect our clients.
Right.
Like there's a lot of reasons why people are disorganized.
Right.
And so if I sat here with you and joked around for 45 minutes about things that I saw in people's houses, probably people aren't going to want to have us in their home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, we see a lot, we hear a lot. I will tell you, anything that we see or hear or read in someone's home
Stays in their home.
it does stay in their home. We've seen a few things. I was trying to think of something specific to tell without telling any too personal of information about people. Of course, we always run into the when we get to someone's nightstand, for example. I'm like, do you want to handle this drawer or do you want me to? So anything
understand.
personal you can think of,
Yeah.
we have seen. I mean, we've seen lots of different kinds of, weapons or, guns and bullets and people that are prepping for doomsday.
Oh, yes.
Situations like that
So
where
do
they've got...
do they have you come in and categorize by ammunition, or how does that work?
No, actually, we do not touch weapons
Okay.
or ammunition. So that's one thing that we will not organize. We just ask them to move it out of the way. So it's funny because in 8.5 years of organizing, Evansville must be a pretty tame area because professional organizers, we've got a national association
Okay.
that we're a part of. And we have message boards, and occasionally people do tell some pretty crazy stories on there of stuff that they've seen and heard and client situations that have arisen. And I'll tell you, I've got it good. I have not had nearly some of these crazy situations. So one time I did have a client, she wouldn't even care if I told you this, but one time I had a client, and first time I ever met her, pulled up to her house. I go in to do the consultation, and she just strips down to her underwear and bra right there in the living room right in front of me. And I was like, hi, you've never met me before. But she was just comfortable, and she'd been gardening and needed to change her clothes before we did the consult. So
Fantastic. So you show up to someone's house to do a consult. Kind of walk us through the process of how someone hires you and brings you in to actually start the organizing process.
Right. So they give us a call usually or email, Facebook message, a variety of different ways. We usually try to have a phone call first just so that we can make sure they're a real person
Right.
and kind of get a feel for them before we blindly
Show up at
at
their
a
house.
stranger's house.
Yeah.
Make sure it's actually who they're saying that they are. So we have a short phone conversation, explain the process. And then from there, if they want to move forward, we schedule an in-home consultation. So during that consultation, usually lasts an hour, hour and a half. Occasionally, if it's a senior or somebody with another kind of difficulty, they're blind or have trouble hearing or something, it may take a little bit more like 2 hours, but typically it's going to be an hour to an hour and a half. And during that time, we do assessment questions. We ask them a lot of questions about their project, what goals they're looking to accomplish, what's organized to them, what are they expecting out of us. We take a tour of the space. And a lot of times when we get done with the tour, we've looked in every room, every closet, just to kind of see what all is there in this house, what are they wanting done. And we get to the end. A lot of times if it's a whole house project, the person really struggles with where do we even start?
Right.
I mean, that's one of the biggest things.
One of the questions I get a lot in my business too. Where do I
I don't
start?
even know what to do. What do I do? Where do I start? So I usually advise them. I ask them, first of all, I listen as we're taking the tour. And when I say I mean we, because I've trained my employees to do the same thing. But
Right.
we listen when we're on the tour for comments like that indicate embarrassment or indicate something that's really stressing them out. I mean, we're paying attention to body language, the words people are using. So when we get done with that tour and I say, what bothers you the most? If they don't know, usually I know
Right.
what bothers them the most
You can
based
just
on
tell.
their reaction to having a stranger look in that room or in that closet. If they truly don't know and it's a big project, I usually encourage them to start in the master bedroom. Wherever it is that you sleep, when you wake up in the morning, if the first thing you see is clutter and chaos, that just sets your day off wrong.
Yeah.
It just sets you in this mindset of, I can't do this. Why can't I do this? I should be able to keep my room clean, or I should be more organized, or why am I not good enough? Like it just starts that negative self-talk.
Yeah.
And we deal a lot with the psychology of organizing. We're not therapists. We're not, coaches, but we definitely deal with a lot of that emotional and mental struggle.
Because there definitely is an emotional attachment a lot of times to having
yeah.
that going on in your home.
Absolutely. Or anybody who struggles with anxiety, depression, things like that, they're going to have a harder time doing this on their own.
Yeah.
Going through things, making decisions. It's just hard to do that when you're bogged down with depression or anxiety.
Yeah.
So we encourage them with that master bedroom. If you can get that under control, get it organized, then every single day when you wake up, the first thing that goes to your mind is, look what I did.
Yeah.
Look at this accomplishment.
You're setting them up for success right off the bat.
This is amazing. And look, I can do more. It just sets them up for the I can do this attitude.
That's
which
awesome.
makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So now you also mentioned, as we kind of said, that a lot of the thing that was a driving force behind getting into the organizing was the multiple moves you did. So I wanted to talk today about, Scotty, can you hand me this down here? We had a slight mishap. I don't know if you saw it on the camera earlier, but the fantastic product you have, the Ultimate Color Moving System, which I do have a copy of here today. Special one, branded with the Aaron Advantage logo on there. Woohoo! Tell us a little bit about this, because this is a fantastic tool that people can utilize when they're getting ready to make a move.
Yes, the Ultimate Color Moving System is actually a product that I created myself after many, many years of organizing my own moves and organizing other people's moves. We came across the idea, and you may have seen the idea of color coding a move is not my own, right? You see it on the internet. A lot of people use duct tape. That's what we started using with our clients, were different colors of duct tape. So you would color code the box by what room it was going into. So I took that a whole 20 steps further than that.
This thing is impressive. It comes already with the Sharpies and the pens for making everything. It's got labels. It's got an entire index of your whole house, floor plan, drawing. Like, this is amazing.
Yes. So there's 12 different colors, because you could have up to 12 different rooms in your house. And some people are like, 12 rooms? Yeah. My house is small. Well, you could divide out different areas specifically by different colors. Or if your house is bigger than that, you can always get a second one or an expansion pack and have additional rooms more than the 12. Some people are moving to more than one location too.
Right.
So 12 different colors, up to 12 different rooms. What you do is you put the box labels. There comes with 2 labels for each box that you wrap around the corners of the box, so that no matter what side of the box you're looking at, you can see the number and the color for that box.
Nice.
In addition to that, there are inventory sheets. So there's 30 boxes per room, 12 rooms, and you got this inventory sheet that you can write down what's inside every box. So you're not writing on the boxes, which I don't know about you, but if you have back problems at all or knee problems and you're packing a box, the box is generally going to be on the floor, and then you're trying to bend over and write on this box. It's just difficult for
Not to
some
mention on the
people.
back end when you have to bend over to pick it up to try to read what's in the box.
Exactly. So color coding, having the labels on the outside of the box and everything is numbered, you've got one place that all of your inventory is written down. So as an example, the last house that we moved into, which shockingly, we're coming up on 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a miracle.
Are you staying?
I cannot deny the fact that I'm looking online.
In the area, I hope.
This is our 3rd house in Newburgh, and we've been here 11 years.
Wow.
So
love Newburgh, though.
I just like to move. I don't know. I just like fresh. I think it's because when we move, we paint and we get new stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
So
that's
instead, I'm trying to paint and get new stuff without moving.
There you go. There you go.
So the inventory sheets you're writing on, and then you're prioritizing them A, B, or C. So A is like you need it the first day, right?
Right.
Like you need your toilet paper, you need your coffee, your medicine. B is like within a week or so, you probably want this unpacked. And then C is like, if it stays in storage for 2 or 3 months, that's
No
fine,
big deal.
right? No big deal. And then in addition, there's a whole booklet in there that explains to you how to declutter to put your house on the market, how to pack, how to unpack, where to get supplies, how to use the system.
It's got a sheet for budgeting.
Everything. It has worksheets. Yeah. And then you mentioned the floor plans.
Yes.
I personally think that's one of the cool parts. So you can draw your little floor plan out, and then there's squares that match the there's square stickers that match each of the 12 colors of the rooms that you put those stickers on the map. You hang that map up so that whoever's carrying your boxes into the house
Knows where to
can
take
see
everything.
red, okay, and they know exactly where to take it. And then in addition, when they get to that room, there's a room sign that you hang on the entrance to that room. So they see it on the map when they're coming in. When they get to that room, they're like, oh, this is the right room. And then you can look in the room and see, are all the boxes red? If not, you can ask the movers to move that box, especially for seniors or people with physical ailments that can't lift those boxes again.
Right.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I love it. I've used it a couple of times myself. My parents moved it when they moved to a different state. All of our clients absolutely love the system.
Yeah, it's incredible. And my people who have used it have loved it as well. So It's pretty fantastic. So I think that's all that I have for questions today. Is there anything else specifically you want to let people know? But what's the best number for them to reach you? We'll make sure that we get that on the video and everything else as well, or where they can find you online.
So the main thing, I guess, or the newest thing is that we are really focusing on senior moves. We have found that seniors need that extra little bit of personalized attention when they're moving.
Yeah.
We can manage that move from making all the phone calls, coordinating all of the appointments, the donation drop-offs, the moving company, everything, and just take all that stress off of the adult children as well as the senior themselves. A lot of seniors' children live out of town. Yeah. So we work a lot with senior living facilities in the area, so we know the floor plans, we know what furniture is going to fit where, and we can really help seniors make that transition a whole lot easier.
Excellent.
So that's like the biggest thing going on right now. Yeah. They can find us on our website. It's www.lastingorder.net, or give us a call at 812-858-2457, and you'll get a call back. We'll be happy to talk to you about any kind of organizing project, whether that's at work, at home. We didn't even talk about. We'll have to come back and talk about other
There's
areas
so much
of
content
business.
here. We'll definitely get some more podcasts out of this. My videographer was telling me how I need to have you come fix my office. So there's definitely going to be more opportunity for us to have those conversations. So also, just real quick, make sure you check them out on Facebook. They do a lot of great quick tips and videos and a lot of images and things to make your organizing a lot easier at home.
Right. We do a monthly newsletter that's residential in focus, and then we do a quarterly newsletter that's productivity focused.
Excellent.
So if you want more tips in your inbox, sign up for that too.
There you go. Well, Amy, thanks again for coming in today. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me. It's fun.
See ya. Thanks again for checking out the Aaron Advantage podcast. I hope you really enjoyed the information that we got today from Amy Payne, certified professional organizer with Lasting Order. Be sure to check her out online at lastingorder.net, or you can tweet me at Aaron Advantage, and I'm happy to make that connection for you.